Hello, everybody. It's me, Rachel, and Max. We are on our way to HEB. Summer's doctor thinks it might be a good idea for her to start on an anti-inflammatory diet. The specialists who look for anti-inflammatory issues, such as a rheumatologist, gastroenterologist, all their tests say that she does not have high markers for high inflammation. However, she is in so much pain, and the pain meds only do so much, on top of which our desire is for her to not have to be on pain meds, that her pediatrician thinks that being on an anti-inflammatory diet can't possibly hurt and might actually help with some pain management, because while she might not have high enough markers for inflammation for something like an autoimmune disease, her body is, we don't know what it is yet, but her body is currently fighting something, which of course we all know increases inflammation. And if she's got chronic pain, chronic issues, she probably does have a certain amount of chronic inflammation going on in her body, which could very much be contributing to how much pain she's in. So we were already dairy-free, egg-free because of her allergies, which seem to be somewhat mild. So we would allow cheat days, or really cheat moments. Like if we went out to eat, we didn't necessarily, like if she wanted the chicken nuggets, we didn't necessarily say no, because it was probably coated in egg wash or milk wash or something like that. We just cut it all out at home so that she could have like a cupcake at school if it was someone's birthday or something like that. She was lucky enough to not have a severe enough allergy. However, we are going to really dive into the anti-inflammatory diet because we both agree with the doctors, and on top of which, you can't possibly expect it to do what it's supposed to do or help it rule out anything if you're not committing to it 100%. So at least for the next couple of weeks, we are going to be as strict as we possibly can. There is a bit of a learning curve because we're still learning about this. Luckily, I have several close friends who are on anti-inflammatory diets for health reasons, and they are an incredible source of information and help, and are going to be giving us tips, tricks, recipe books. I've already bombarded them with tons of questions, which they're great at asking, but it seems that we're going to probably stick to a few basic foods and meals these next couple of weeks, as I'm trying to figure out how to make food more exciting and fun, and it might take a while for Summer's taste buds to adjust to having nothing refined, nothing processed. I definitely have to get sugar that is safe for her. I have to get flour that is safe for her for baking purposes. She's going to have to start eating different breads when she has it at all. So it's going to be a period of adjustment, but we thought we'd bring you along for the journey because we are taking you along on so many other aspects of this. We'd like to show you a little bit more of what happens at home and how our day-to-day life has changed and been affected, and what we're doing to help in a holistic manner that will hopefully have very long-term healthful benefits. Sorry, there is a man towing a truck on a tractor? What is that? Yeah. A tractor with a trailer going the wrong way on the street. There were men in that truck. They weren't driving. But anyway, we don't live in the country, but we live close enough that sometimes you see those things. And we're going to the good HEB, which is further away from us, more into like where the farmhouses and farmland is out here. So sometimes you see some not so common things for the city. We're used to them, but that one was different.
I don't know how used to them you are.
That one was different. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling now. We'll try and film as much as we can. I'm very new to all this. filming out in public and stuff like that. Don't want to get anybody else in there. So we will do the best we can. But like I said, huge learning curve on everything. All right, talk to you later. Okay, well, I kind of lost track of showing y'all those last few things. We got some baking stuff, which I think I showed you, but then after that, we got some veggie chips. I mean, it just takes longer now because you have to read all the ingredients, which, I mean, honestly, is what you should be doing anyway. But I got some veggie chips, got some like rice crackery type things that have a bit of a sweetness to them, which honestly they're probably not going to have any anti-inflammatory benefits, but hopefully they don't increase inflammation. But you know, the poor kid, she already just has so much to deal with and change that, you know, we don't want to hit her with it all at once. Anyway, Max had to step away to take a phone call from a doctor, referral, and we're gonna just load all this stuff into the car, and we have another errand to do before we get home. Okay, so we're at Walmart now trying to get Valentine's Day stuff, which they don't have any of, but Max has found something.
It's a Hug-A-Pet.
And I honestly don't know if it's actually going to make its way to summer. Okay, we have been shopping since 10 a.m. this morning. It is now 1:20. That is like 3 hours shopping. We're leaving Walmart. Still don't have everything on our list, but that's okay. We've gotten a good chunk of stuff so that we can eat this week. Hopefully give Summer some safe treats for her to have, safe and healthful. I had to call my mom and ask her to grab us a bottle of coconut aminos from Whole Foods the next time she goes. I don't even think we have a Whole Foods near us, do we? I've never seen a Whole Foods like out here. And
we have a Sprouts.
We have a Sprouts. They probably have it. But yeah, Mom has coconut aminos, so I knew she'd know exactly where to go, and I didn't want to keep having to go from store to store. And then a specific brand of brown rice pasta. But I think we did good. What do you think?
I think we did. You too.
Good. But we are hungry hippos. I want to go home and eat something. Max is starting to not feel so good. She was recovering from, I don't know, the ick this weekend. And so today she felt better, but I think she's reached her limit. So we're going to go home and we're going to unpack all these groceries and rest.
You were dancing in the middle of the oven.
I'm hungry.
That's why you were dancing, because you were hungry?
No, I was dancing because I was happy. But I'm hungry now, and I have about 10 minutes before the hunger turns me into a different person. So
I'm trying to get us home.
Okay, don't mind the very messy kitchen. It's tiny, and so, but I'm going to do the best I can to show you the stuff we got. I walked through most of this at the store, but I'll just go over again. We got some spinach. I like to use spinach. First of all, Summer loves spinach, but I like to use it not just for the obvious, but lettuce on, instead of lettuce on your sandwiches, I also use it to make homemade pesto because Summer can't have store-bought pesto. In order to keep it from going bad sometimes, I also like to go ahead and cook it and stick it in the freezer to have, like throw in some soups and stuff. Love it. I'm going to see if I can try to get her to try kale too, just because I know that that's got a lot of good properties to it. We're trying coconut milk instead of oat milk, We got the coconut oil I showed you. This I'm actually very excited about. Max, we think, well, she used to have a sensitivity to ginger. And we don't know how, allergic she may or may not still be. But ginger has amazing anti-inflammatory powers. So getting it in a juice so that we don't have to cook with it, and those the scent of it isn't wafting through the house and causing allergic reactions for anybody or anything like that. That'll be a good way. And not only can she drink this, and I bought some gelatin that I'm going to try and make. I'll get these like pure juices as best I can, because juicing your own fruit is stupid expensive. We're going to experiment with making our own Jello, because Summer loves Jello, and that'll be a good treat for her that makes her feel like she's not being so deprived. Speaking of snacks, we also have rice cakes. I love rice cakes. I think it might take some time for Summer to get used to, but she can put a little bit of nut butter on them. We got some coconut almond butter. I am still trying to find some sunflower butter. I would really like to try that. But in the meantime, we've got this because peanut butter, unless we go all natural, which I don't see Summer enjoying, although we can try it. This is just better for her dietary needs. But that on a rice cake with some like fresh berries. Yum, yum. One of my favorite snacks. Also, we got these crunchy rollers. I love these. I don't think that these have any anti-inflammatory problem. In fact, I know they don't. But what I'm hoping is that they don't actually increase or have pro-inflammatory properties. But we're going to try those. Applesauce, obviously, bake with that. Got honey. Love to sweeten stuff with honey and maple syrup. We also found this raw honeycomb. We're excited to do that. I swear if we could have our own bees, we would, but no place to keep them in the apartment. Beans, kidney and black beans. I'm going to try making a veggie chili. It's going to be veggie as the base. I think I'm going to throw some shredded chicken in there just for added protein. But beans have great, especially dark beans, have great anti-inflammatory properties. Coconut-based yogurt to go with her berries in the morning. That'd be a good breakfast. Pitted dried dates, also a good sweet substitute, but I'm going to try making some coconut date balls. We were going to make cake pops for Valentine's Day, but we're not going to do that now. So I'm thinking this might serve as a substitute, and she loves to make these in the kitchen. Walnuts go in all kinds of things. We've got cashews, sunflower seeds, all that, but walnuts needed to be a good addition. Oh, so HEB, if you have dietary restrictions but still have a sweet tooth like we all do, they have that great candy aisle. These actually might have, it's a licorice mix from Australia, but it was all natural. And if I remember I was reading the ingredients to make sure it didn't have any high fructose corn syrup or refined sugar in it. But not only did it not have that stuff, I swear it actually had things that are anti-inflammatory, and it was really good. So we're excited to let her try those, because then that's the place we can go get candy. Pumpkin, always have pumpkin puree. We cook with that a lot. There's no end to the things you can use with that. I'm also going to see if I can find sweet potato puree as opposed to mashing them up myself, because we cooked with a lot of sweet potatoes. So over here, all our fresh produce, bananas, butternut squash, love those. Mini peppers, these are phenomenal, just roasted in the oven I like them with fish. I cannot get the rest of my family to eat fish, so it'll probably be with chicken. Or just for snacking on, that's great. I only have one of each fruit out because this is a tiny kitchen, but grapefruit, love grapefruit. Kiwi, holy moly. If you are not aware of the health benefits to kiwi, these are just like bananas, loaded with potassium. I think they actually have more potassium in them than a banana. And we give these to Summer even before all this because of her seizures. So, but potassium, she has a hard time holding on to. Now she has a hard time holding on to sodium. So, but kiwi is a good source of potassium. We got a whole bunch of look how beautiful those Honeycrisp apples are. They're so rich and vibrant, and I'm really excited to use those. I got more than we normally do, but they're not going to go bad. First of all, she usually takes an apple with her lunch at school, but you know, if you put apples with your bread, you know, you can put them over oatmeal, baked cinnamon. There's an apple carrot muffin that I'm very excited to try. I found an antioxidant diet blog, so that's gonna be good. Anyway, no end of use for apples. And then some actual just regular bell peppers. She eats those like they're apples, actually. It's amazing. Sweet potatoes, got a lot of sweet potatoes. More turkey breast for her lunch. We got some ground chicken, so I can make breakfast chicken patties, kind of like a breakfast hash or a breakfast sausage. We're getting her onto sourdough bread. We're gonna try and, you know, like only limit her bread intake, not to have it all the time. She really loves bread, which, I mean, who doesn't? But we don't want it is, no matter how good for you the bread is, it's still you know, simplistic food. We want to try and keep all these really dense and complex nutrients in her. A couple of chips to try. We got the sweet potato crinkle cut, and I've already started munching on these plantain strips. They're very yummy. Love those. Tons of carrots. Like I said, it's gonna go in everything. And we also buy the baby carrots because Max and Summer both love to snack on those. But these will be more for cooking, stews, chilies, or even baking. And yeah, so we'll have those. Potatoes, I use those for a touch of creaminess and like sauce substitutions. We got mandarin oranges. Love those. We haven't ever had this brand before, so I'm excited to try that. Of course, brown rice. That's a good staple for any dish. I love quinoa. I've been eating quinoa, but I'm going to try and introduce that to the family and see if they like it. But if not, brown rice is great. But even then, quinoa is just something we can add to our brown rice so that those aren't the only grains. An interesting thing I've just learned. Quinoa, though it is referred to as a whole grain, is actually a seed, and it has protein in it. But that's what makes it safe to eat on most diets, because it's a seed. Anyway, and yellow corn tortillas. Again, I know we're kind of pushing it with these, but I mean, sometimes you just need a tortilla. So yeah. Oh, and then again over here from the messy kitchen, but we've got our gluten-free flour. I actually think this will be good. It's got the rice, flaxseed, oat, and however you pronounce that, flour, sorghum. I don't know, I have to look that up. And coconut palm sugar. And I keep all our sugar. We'll keep the brown sugar for a few baked goods because it's not as horrible since it's not white, but it's still refined. So we'll keep the brown sugar, but I'm going to ditch the all-purpose flour, and I'm going to ditch the sugar out of those canisters and replace. But I actually did, and don't judge my messy pantry, but I actually did grind up because I made sort of a sauce to go on some pasta last night, which was amazing. But I was actually very proud of myself because, y'all, I can burn water. So anyway, we were out, we couldn't use the all-purpose flour, and we had rolled oats left. So I just got out the food processor and threw some rolled oats in and made my own oat flour. Now, so this is a really good alternative. The problem is it comes out kind of chunky because I don't have a mill. So I did it in the food processor, and then I ended up having to throw all the sauce once it was like creamed together in my blender to really get it smooth. I don't know if throwing this in the blender would first help prevent that, but anyway, it's a good, you know, like in a pinch. And I made some granola last night, which I burned the crap out of, but before I burned it, it was very good, and it needs a binding agent. So I just threw some of this in there with it to help kind of make it, so it's not just the oats, it had like that binding powder flour. So anyway, all learning process here, and it is now 2:38. I finally ate something. I've got my tea over there. I'm gonna finish that up. I'm gonna get all these groceries put away, and then I'm gonna go pick up the tidbit.
Okay, something I forgot to show you
when we did the grocery haul was I found this really, really cool magazine at Walmart. I know everything is online these days, and believe me, I spend so much time on Pinterest trying to find recipes that fit all the dietary needs and restrictions in my family, because Summer's not the only one. Max has quite a few food allergies that we have to accommodate. So Pinterest is actually, it's one of the best places I've found. And I also just look up online. Facebook, based on my searches, is always showing me stuff, which is not at all creepy. But anyway, I'm still old school, I guess, because I remember a time where we didn't have computers, and I like to write things down. I like to have things that I can, bookmark and footnote. So anyway, it's this magazine here. I'm going to try and turn around. Okay, I'm trying to do this so that everybody can see everything. You see my car? I really need to get that cleaned. Anyway, this is a magazine. It's plant-based recipes, which, is a great place to start for us. And then I just throw in, some like ground turkey or shredded chicken or, something, a protein base. But the thing that really got me was hearty soups and stews, because I love those. And, we're sort of ending the time of year where that is really comforting, because like we're in Houston, y'all. So it was like 40 degrees this morning, and now it's like 75. So it's pretty soon it's going to be 80, 85 all day, every day, and then 90, and then 1,000 degrees. So we're not really going to be wanting soups. But while we are finishing up winter, I want to get in as much hearty soups and stews as possible. Quick and delicious pasta dinners. I love a good pasta recipe. And since it's plant-based, I know Summer can have it, because it doesn't have dairy. And then the pizzas, burgers, and tacos. So, I was like, let's just take a look. Like, look at that. Look at that just happened right there. Berry banana smoothie bowls. And that right there, I can tell just by looking at it, is incredibly anti-inflammatory friendly. Like that is just, oh my gosh. The blueberries. What else is in there? Let's see. Yeah, so plant milk, spinach, yes, to get your extra like antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties, and veggies in there. Chia seeds, so good for your heart. Blueberries, they would fresh and frozen, and I need to get some frozen fruit. Anyway, oh my gosh, like we could have this tomorrow. Steel cut oats with savory greens. Now, I haven't gotten any steel cut. I usually get rolled cut because I like overnight oats, or rolled oats. But anyway, look, there's some overnight oats. I mean, this just looks like, oh, Sammy's and more. That's so cute. But look at that. That looks like chickpea maybe. No tuna salad sandwiches. But see, I could take that. I could throw some tuna in there. Teriyaki burger with pineapples apparently are good for anti-inflammatory diets. So anyway, this is just, I'm really excited to kind of dive in here. And Summer loves to help out in the kitchen, and she loves to get involved. Mole style chili with tamale croutons. That looks amazing. Sorry if I pronounced all that incredibly wrong. Zucchini, corn, and black bean soup. These are all just things that I love and I get really excited about. But if Summer can go through here and look at some things and be like, hey, this looks good, let's try making this. Getting her involved with the food. She is butternut mac and cheese with broccoli. We are doing that one. Oh my gosh, look at that. As soon as I find the right pasta that she can have. But if Summer can, pick out the food and look at, and have a hand in trying to make some, if there is like a taste adjustment that she needs to go through, she is more likely to embrace it. Love a good curry. She is more likely to embrace it than and try to really get through it than just, you know, wrinkling her nose and saying, ew, that's gross. So, yeah, that's good. Green bean skillet, love that. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share that. Of course, we're going to take you along on this journey, and you can watch us making meals, and, you know, we'll let Summer review them for you. Anyway, I'm just super excited. I'm choosing to see this as very exciting. It's an exciting chance to become healthier as a family. It's an exciting chance to learn new things. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. Are there going to be days where we're like, man, I really just wish I could drive through Whataburger real fast and get some food? Absolutely. But, you know, who's to say that this is super permanent? But in the meantime, we'll pick up some good habits along the way. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't just a little nervous about what this is going to do to our grocery budget. We're already really struggling. Summer's health is the most important. So we're just going to keep trudging. Instead of seeing this as another obstacle, this is actually something that I can do. This is something that I can take control of. This is something that I can, you know, truly work on and help and hopefully see some benefits of, as opposed to all these, you know, appointments that we just keep going to that right now don't really seem to get us very far. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you, and yeah, super duper excited.